We are here at Glacier Point, one of the best views in all of Yosemite. While Yosemite already is a fairly commoditized national park, it used to have far less restrictions. There even used to be a hotel up here at Glacier Point. Well, that would have been really cool to stay at when it was here. I'm glad that it's not here anymore for the sake of preserving the natural beauty. I'm going to do the 4-mile trail down from Glacier Point to get back to the valley. Hopefully we'll have some good views along the way, just like we have up here. And that right there is the actual Glacier Point, the point in question for its namesake. We are up here at Glacier Point, about to head down onto the 4-mile trail. This is where the trail begins. It's approximately 4.4 miles to the bottom, though that sign says 4.6. Who can be trusted? But I'm gonna stop at Union Point. Somebody recommended that, so I'll just start talking. Story time. I wasn't even really planning on doing this trail in the first place because my mom and I, we had this big idea that we could do the whole Panorama Trail hike, which is 8.2 miles just to get to Glacier Point, and then another 4.5 miles to get down, followed by needing to walk back from that trailhead to our cabins, which would last another 1 or 2 miles. So it would have been like a 15-mile hike total, maybe more. And even though we've been going on a lot of walks lately, I thought that was not such a great idea after we started to walk around and realize what our limits were on non-flat terrain. So we drove up here and I asked my mom, hey, can I just walk down? Because it's a pretty easy hike down. And she said, sure. So my mom was driving down after we drove up, so I didn't have to do the really hard, really steep ascent here. And I get to just have this relatively leisurely stroll down a mountain. So I'm glad I'm having the opportunity to do this hike, because when we were discussing the Panorama Trail with the registration office for checking into our cabins, they recommended a particular offshoot on this trail called Union Point, which we will go to, which has apparently really nice views. So that's where we're headed. Glad I'm gonna get to check it out. The area is up and around to get to Glacier Point. As we drove up here, like there was one viewpoint I forget the name of, I think Washburn Point, something like that. That was crazy crowded. There was another viewing point way towards the beginning of the drive up here, which had so many people. You were at Tunnel View, which has one of the best views of Half Dome and the valley overall in the entire area. So it's a bit disconcerting, the lack of masks and social distancing. The only reason I'm not wearing a mask is because there's no one around for at least 200 or 300 feet. But the lack of masks and social distancing in these crowded viewpoints is a bit concerning. I kept my mask on the entire time I was anywhere near people, so no worries for then. But it's just a reminder that there's a lot of dumb people in the world when this virus is happening and not taking proper precautions. But this is really nice. Pardon the wind, but all these mossy trees. The knowledge that there is a view behind this tree line right here. It's all super cool. I love hiking alone. I feel a little anxious hiking alone just because, like, oh geez, if there's a bear, I don't got backup. But there's just something so nice about being totally isolated in nature just to sit with your own thoughts and listen to the silence. So I'm gonna stop talking for a bit so you can hear whatever the mic on the GoPro considers to be silence. Awesome. I'm mainly going to be using my GoPro for filming everything because it's so much easier to quickly handle than my A6600, which is very small, compact, lightweight, easy to handle. But it still requires a bit of setup, like dealing with lens caps, picking whether I want to use my telephoto lens to get something far away, or my close-up lens to just vlog with it. So I'm actually more or less using the GoPro as the main camera and the 6600 as my B-roll. That's not something I expected to do. Like I even brought a gimbal for my A6600, but it was heavy, a bit unnecessary, I felt, when I'm trying to not overload my back with camera gear. And the GoPro has built-in just as good stabilization. So GoPro, yeah. Shooting on a Hero 8 Black. Just look at that. Always checking for snakes and stuff whenever I stop. Check this out. Oh, you can see the left side of Glacier Point behind that tree line. But otherwise, you can see Half Dome, North Dome, trees. Looks like some trees were either cleared or fell down around here because this portion of the trail is full of felled trees, causing a straight line to turn into a zigzag. Gosh, I get a little bit nervous whenever I'm by wood things, because snakes like to blend in with sticks. So I'm not looking at what the GoPro's doing, I'm looking at where I'm going. Glad we're past that obstacle and can return to pretty views. Heck yeah, gamers. Amazing view of Yosemite Falls right here. Wowee. This is probably one of the most amazing views I have ever seen. That's the entrance to Yosemite Valley. The wind's going straight in the mic, but it's pretty, you get the idea. Sweet baby Jesus. Because the 4-mile trail is more or less a steady downhill, it's really easy to just kind of loosen the brakes and just trot down. Little lizard. Didn't get that on camera. I do enjoy running on trails, and this is probably my favorite trail to run down because it's 4 miles of steady downhill with mostly steady path. Not much risk of tripping as long as you check where you're going and aren't constantly looking at the camera. And on top of all of that, Amazing views. Heading down from Glacier Point. Gotta go fast, but not too fast so that you may not stop yourself from tripping and falling. I did do this hike in like just over an hour once. The normal pace for going down is 2 or 3 hours. I was going about this speed 60% of the hike. Otherwise I was stopped or just going slowly and suffering. Anyways, I'm gonna keep suffering now. It looks like we are just about at the fork that goes to Union Point versus Yosemite Valley. And we came from Glacier Point right there. I think that's Sentinel Dome behind there. So we've gone 1.6 miles so far. Let's go to Union Point. Damn. That is tight. What the heck, dude? Who allowed nature to be as pretty as this? Oh my god. That is so cool. With the tree and then all the rocks. This might be a better angle. There's the falls over there, which we'll get a better view of right over here. Oh, I guess this is the end. Check for snakes. I don't see any snakes. Wow. We got Half Dome, North Dome, and between Half Dome and North Dome, if you see those peaks right to the left of Half Dome, that is Cloud's Rest. It's a very long hike, but it apparently has stunning views, as I've been told. Sweet baby Jesus. And that's not a term I throw around lightly. This is what many would call a view. When the guide said Union Point was very close to the main trail, they were not lying. It's just right there, and the main trail's back there. That was a nice little side adventure. But wow, all these views. So this 4-mile trail is the main direct path up to Glacier Point, and it's 4.6 miles approximately. Yosemite miles feel longer. there used to be a 1 mile trail to get up to Glacier Point, which was practically vertical. And I can't imagine how difficult that trail was when this 4 mile trail, which I have gone up before, is among the steepest 4 mile trails. Steepest 4 miles of a trail that I've ever experienced. Fun to go down though. My excuse, aside from speed, for running down this trail is that it's much less impact on the knees, because instead of stopping the downward momentum, you're just letting it carry you forward. So if I walked it down this entire trail, my knees would be a lot unhappier than if I kind of just loosen the brakes and let that downward motion turn forward. Oh, this is a bit of a rockier area, so I'm gonna pay attention to the walking. Whee! Okay, step, step, step. Gosh, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous trail. I think we're about to get a good view of the domes. And a nice little flat spot to let my legs rest a little bit. Oh, wow. Just look at that. Right, okay, cool. You can see from left to right, North Dome, tree, Clouds Rest, Half Dome, and then the trail we're on. Nice. Damn. Falls, which we'll get a better view of over here. Oh, yep. There we go. Wow. Oh. As we continue to descend, we are much closer to the valley floor than we were last time I became aware of the height. If you see that mountain that's pointing out on the right side of the screen, around the middle right now, I believe that is El Capitan, which is the largest single piece of granite in the world. Also the setting of the solo-free documentary where a man climbs its face without any equipment, and it's the scariest thing you'll ever see, because you know, think like, oh god, is he gonna die? Because it's freaking dangerous. But yeah, Yosemite. Wow. Just wow. Do I regret running down so far? Not really. Now I've come across a little mini waterfall that goes out to view there. Very nice, very pleasant. Gonna be careful walking through this. Yeah, it's a good hike. Because of everything with the world situation, it makes me extra thankful when people are putting in the effort to minimize risk for everyone. And I really noticed that on this hike, because most of the people I passed would either move to one side or put their masks on, and whenever I would get close to people, I would put my mask on. So I'm appreciating that even in hiking, that people are taking proper precautions most of the time. Of course, there are some people who don't really seem to give any regard for that all around, but most of the people here been good. We're almost done with this hike. 4-mile trail. Feels like a at least 5-mile trail so far. But we are a lot lower than when we started. If you notice the mountains being pretty up this time instead of out. You know what I mean, right? And we're just about at the bottom of the hike. That was fun. We are back down in the valley. We came from up there. Thanks for watching. I bought that GoPro just for this Yosemite trip, so smash that like button if you think it was a good investment. This is just half of one day from that trip, so subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks again, and I'll see you all next time.